A happy ending to a movie, a sad breakup with your friends, a particle of sand getting into your eyes can all trigger the production of tears. Tears are essential to the health of your eye, and as a fun fact, you produce around 15 to 30 gallons of tears a year. However, contrary to most people's belief, tears are not just saline but contain enzymes, lipid, metabolites, and electrolytes. Also, they serve many purposes other than keeping the eye moist. In this video, let's learn more about the tear film and the lacrimal apparatus. Let's dive right in. In the Middle Ages, tears were believed to be waste product of the brain. It was not until 1946 when Eugene Wolf proposed the first basic concepts governing tear film and structure in clinical terms. Nowadays, we know tears have several essential functions that maintain the health of your eye. Tears contain enzymes such as lysozyme, antibodies, and phagocytic cells that destroy bacteria and corneal infections. They help to eliminate foreign objects from the eye and keep the eye's surface moist, hence preventing the epithelial cells from becoming dry. Also, as the cornea has no blood vessels, tears provide the cornea with necessary nutrients and oxygen. You mainly make three types of tears. Basal tears are constantly secreted to lubricate, nourish, and protect the cornea. They act almost like a shield that protects the eyes away from dust, sand, and other irritants. Reflex tears are secreted in response to irritants. They are typically produced in large quantities in a short amount of time to flush out foreign bodies. Reflex tears also contain more secretory IgA to fight bacteria. And last but not least, emotional tears are produced in response to strong emotions such as joy and sadness. In our next video, we will talk about dry eyes. And for you to better understand dry eyes, we have to go through the basic structure of tear film. Your tear film is not just saline. In fact, the tear film has three layers. They are the inner mucus layer, the watery middle layer, and the outer oily layer. Each layer has its unique functions, and there are no clear-cut barriers between them. For the sake of simplicity, we'll talk about them separately. First, the mucus layer. The conjunctiva is a tissue that lines the inside of the eyelid and covers the sclera, which is the white portion of the eye. The mucus layer is mainly of a glycoprotein called mucin secreted by globular cells on the conjunctiva. The corneal epithelial cell layer is hydrophobic. Hence, the presence of the hydrophilic mucus layer is significant because it provides a template for the tear film's aqueous layer to firmly attach to the eye. The free mucus strands are mixed with the aqueous layer and trap debris such as desquamated epithelium cells and microorganisms to be removed from the eye during the blinking process. Second, the aqueous layer. The aqueous layer is the thickest layer of the tear film composed of 98% water and other electrolytes, hormones, and proteins. Do you remember that tears are divided into basal tears and reflex tears? Well, the aqueous component of the basal tears are secreted by the lacrimal glands across and wolfram in the eyelids. In contrast, the reflex tears are secreted by main lacrimal gland located in the upper outer aspect of each orbit. The aqueous layer serves to hydrate the cornea and keep it wet while providing it with oxygen and nutrients. It is important to note that the tonicity of the aqueous layer should be around 0.9% sodium chloride, and tears have to be isotonic relative to the cornea. Water will flow into the cornea if tears are hypotonic and lead to corneal edema, making you more nearsighted. If tears are hypertonic, water flows out of the cornea and make you more farsighted. Last but not least, the lipid layer. The lipid layer is a superficial layer composed mainly of triglycerides, free fatty acids, waxy and cholesterol esters. These compounds are primarily secreted by the meibomian glands of the eyelid, but also by the glands of Zeiss and Moll. The lipid layer serves to reduce water evaporation from the aqueous layer. Without the lipid layer, tears will evaporate 20 times faster. In fact, atrophy of the meibomian glands is the common cause of dry eyes in older people. So now you should be familiar with the basic structure of the tear film. You should also know that tear is not secreted as a complete solution. Its different components are secreted by various glands and distributed evenly across the eye's surface by blinking. Yes, you got it. This is why we blink. Each time we blink, each tear film component mixes together, and the thin film is spread across the eye. However, the tear film will begin to evaporate and break every 15 to 30 seconds, and hence we need to blink 5 to 20 times per minute to keep our eyes from drying up. Tear film breakup time is a crucial indicator of your tear stability. If your T-bud is less than 10 seconds, then it is considered abnormal, and you might start to show symptoms of dry eyes. Before we end this video, let's discuss a bit more on the excretory system of the lacrimal apparatus. You might ask the question, so why do our tears have to be drained from the eye? Can't we just let it evaporate on its own? Well, remember that tear film traps foreign objects and harmful organisms. And if we don't drain tears, the debris cannot be removed from the eye. In fact, only about 10% of our tears naturally evaporate, and about 90% of them are removed from the excretory system. The excretory system includes the lacrimal puncta, the lacrimal canals, the lacrimal sac, and the nasal lacrimal duct, and the nasal cavity, of course. When blinking starts, the puncta closes, and the lacrimal canals and the lacrimal sac are squeezed. The squeezing clears the remaining fluid inside the canals and creates a vacuum space inside. When the lids begin to open, the puncta reopens, and due to the negative pressure inside the lacrimal canals, tears drain into the canals and passage down the nasal lacrimal duct into the nasal cavity due to gravity. Surprised? Tears are meant to drain down your nose and throat. In fact, when you cry, you produce a large amount of tears. The tears mix with the mucus in your nose and makes your nose runny. Alright everyone, so this is the end of my video. If you are still watching this video, then I'm super impressed by your diligence. I hope I did a decent job explaining the lacrimal apparatus, and if you learned something from this video, put 1 on the bullet screen. If not, put 2. In our next video, I will be continuing this series and talk about dry eyes. Oh, eye health question of the day. Do you think crying is beneficial to our health? Write down what you think in the comment section because I would love to hear from you. Please remember that your participation fosters the growth of this community, and I encourage you to speak out. This community is supposed to be friendly and supportive. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and maybe recommend this video to people around you. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in my next video.